Hi guys! Today I'm going to be doing Sana's new K-pop tag video that she just made, which is about the kind of K-pop or the music that defines you or has sort of shaped you. So this tag doesn't have like very specific questions, it's a very open-ended tag, and so this is my interpretation of it. I'll definitely leave Sana's video linked down below so you can check out the original if you would like to. And just in terms of who I tag anybody. Anybody who hasn't done it should do this because it's a very fun tag. So my K-pop story I think is going to be slightly less colorful as other people's because I've pretty much liked the same group for a really long time, and that's the bulk of my collecting. So the first album I wanted to talk about was the album that really started the whole thing, the first K-pop album I ever bought, and that is Girls' Generation's The Boys album. So this is their third full-length album that came out in 2011, and is the album that got me into K-pop, that got me collecting. It's at this point, at one point, my friend who had liked K-pop longer than me and stuff, although she is not as into it as I am, hilariously, showed me like a bunch of different music videos. She showed me Super Junior, who's her favorite group. She showed me a bunch of other stuff. She showed me G, and at the time I was kind of like, whatever about this music. And then all of a sudden, I don't even know, one day I was in college in 2011 and I was like looking at YouTube videos or something, and I came across Hoot. And Hoot is a video that I really love, as I've talked about a lot on this channel. It's one of my favorite concepts from Girls' Generation. I just really liked the song, and I happened to see it around the time that this promotion cycle was about to start, and so I got really excited about this. I was like, oh man, maybe like I should check that out, this new thing that's coming out. And The Boys came out, and I absolutely loved it, and it's probably still one of my favorite songs that they do today. I was blown away by the choreography and the videos and the production values, because at this time, American music wasn't really getting that same kind of vibe. Like there was a really different vibe that was going on in K-pop versus what was happening in the US. And I also really love dance and dance videos, and just getting that in a K-pop video was crazy and great. And so I bought this on Yes Asia, and I sent it to my college dorm room, and it's, still the same one I have. I got a photo card. It was a whole thing. So this is what kicked it off. This is what started it. And this is what has been and still is my, my true love, my top group is still Girls' Generation. So the other things kind of in this like beginning era I wanted to talk about are two music videos. So not albums, but two music videos. The first being the Paparazzi music video, which I will play a short clip of here. Come on, friends, life is a party, got a sweet groove. It's got the anataga boom, boom, boom. 하늘이 걸쳐있어, 하나로 around. He keeps the killer with the boom, boom, boom. And the reason I'm talking about this music video is because this is one of the first music videos I was like really actively staying up on. And this was really the first kind of exposure I had to SNSD Japanese music, I believe. And I have a very, very vivid memory of being in my house that I grew up in, and I'm like sitting at my desk and I'm like refreshing YouTube, or I'm refreshing, I don't even know where I was finding the stuff at the time, like just refreshing something, maybe Reddit, trying to wait for this video, and finally the video drops. And I watch it, and I'm just, again, blown away. I just love it. I love Paparazzi. It's one of my favorite Japanese singles from SNSD, and I just was just amazed. And I was one of those things that really like captured my attention and really grabbed me. So at this time, again, I'm still really mostly into Girls' Generation. I like other groups, I listen to other groups, but they're like my number ones. I don't think about anything else really with them. And it just was so exciting. I just really love Paparazzi. The colors, again, the choreography, being really intensive, and it's just not something I had seen girl groups really do before, because a lot of the girl groups I had been exposed to prior to this was like the Spice Girls, parts of like S Club 7 that had a TV show. Like it just was something I wasn't exposed to. And then the other music video I want to talk about is the I Got a Boy music video, which I will again play a short snippet of here.
Hey, you stop. Let me put it down another way. I got a boy 멋진, I got a boy 착한, I got a boy handsome boy 내 맘 다 가져간. I got a boy 멋진, I got a boy 착한, I got a boy awesome boy 완전 반했나 봐.
So this music video I want to talk about for two reasons. One, it's another one that I was hyped out of my mind about. I watched all of the teasers. I was so excited. I had all of these theories. I could not like be more ready for this music video to drop. And then it drops on New Year's Day in 2013, and I could not have loved it more than I did. I was at my friend's house, and I was waiting for the music video to drop, It comes out, I like leave my group of friends that I'm hanging out with like a computer. I go into this other room and I just watch the music video. Then I like watch it again, and I just loved it, and I was so excited to see it. I showed it to my friends who at this time knew I liked K-pop and stuff, but like I made them watch this music video with me. So I Got a Boy and Paparazzi also have a special place in my heart, along with the boys. So that was sort of parts of the beginning phase of my K-pop collecting. There's two other things I wanted to talk about in this section. The first is Volume Up by 4 Minute, which is an album I don't have anymore, but I will put a picture of right here. And for Volume Up is the first album I bought that was not a Girls' Generation album. I really, really loved Volume Up. It's a song I listened to a lot when I was working. I watched the music video at work. I listened to the album a lot at work. It was a big decision for me to buy a non-Girls' Generation album, so I listened to it like 5 or 6 times before I bought it. It is to this day still one of my favorite 4-minute albums. I just don't have it anymore, but that was another really good album. And the packaging was also very interesting, because at this point, SM and SNSD was mostly doing kind of that standard book packaging. And if you guys have seen Volume Up or seen unboxings of it, it has a very distinctive like style, and how it's like really big and bulky, and there's like postcards and stuff. It was a whole thing. It was the first time I bought something from non-SM, first something I bought something from not SNSD, so it was kind of an important one for that. And then the other thing from this era is actually Super Junior. So this is the one Super Junior album I have. This is the This Is Love Onyeok version. I have always really liked Super Junior. They're like my second favorite boy group these days, and I was actually really seriously considering collecting them for a long time. Not really super intensely, but just getting stuff that I liked. Again, they were my friend's favorite group. They still to this day are one of my friends, like one of her favorite groups. The only reason I know any members of Super Junior is because she literally, for 15 weeks or whatever, sent me an email with a very detailed profile about every member and would send me pictures, and it's like I still have these emails. They're super great, but that's the only reason I know anybody in Super Junior is because of her. So elf friends, you can blame my friend for that, or I guess applaud her for that, for getting me into it. But this is the repack of the Mamacita album, and I loved Mamacita. I loved This Is Love. I love Onyeok. I love a lot of the members of Super Junior, and this is especially because it's really one of the first boy group albums I ever purchased, and it's really one of the first boy groups I ever really paid attention to, kind of in this time frame. So that's kind of like the beginnings of K-pop for me. Sort of not a bumpy ride, but sort of I got there. And then as far as sort of like today and the future, so really easily, unsurprisingly, as you guys know, Girls' Generation, still my favorite group of all time, still the one I love. This is their Holiday Night album that came out to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. I love them still. I'm still so happy to be a So-On every day, and I'm just excited for all of the music that they're ever going to release. There are times when I wax and wane about maybe falling out of K-pop, or things aren't as exciting for me anymore, in part because Girls' Generation isn't quite as active, but this is a group that I will never let go of. This is a time in my life that I will never forget. This is a thing that I will follow probably till the end of my age, or until they stop being a group and producing music, which I feel like, you know, maybe they'll have breaks, but I don't think they're really going to stop in the long run. So Girls' Generation is still my number one, still really important to me as a group, and still something that will continue to be so in the future. The next one I wanted to pull up here is, kind of unsurprisingly, VIXX. So I'm going to talk about Shangri-La here. So Shangri-La is an album that gave me my favorite boy group. That is, like, hands down, my favorite title track from VIXX, my favorite concept from VIXX. Just, I love this so much, and I love VIXX so much. And I'm surprised that I was able to find a group that is, while they're not quite as intense, obviously, as I like Girls' Generation, a group that I like nearly as much as I like Girls' Generation. And it's just been something that has been a fun experience. It's been fun to sort of fall back in love with someone, like a group, that much again. And what really what really sealed the deal for me with VIXX is that I love all of your music. That is like the most critical thing for me about liking a K-pop group, is I have to love all of their discography. Girls' Generation is one of the few where I do some of the older stuff I don't quite like quite as much, which is the same sort of with VIXX. But overall, I just love all of their music, and I love the members as individuals. I feel like second gen K-pop was a really special time in terms of how groups were formed and how groups have personalities and they grew up and all of those kinds of things. Which I guess VIXX isn't really second gen, but you know, kind of tail end of second gen, start of third gen. And I'm just really happy to have found somebody like that again. And I'm really happy to have these 6 dudes in my life making great music, and I hope that they continue for a long time. And I'm excited to keep following them through their journey. And then next up, I want to talk about not so much this album, which is Free Somebody, but more what it represents for me. And so what this represents for me, this is the gift that I got in the K-pop Secret Santa last year. And I think what this really represents to me is friends. For the longest time, until whenever I started my YouTube channel, which was what, like 2016, 2017-ish, I was really alone in liking my K-pop fandom. My friend who likes K-pop, as I mentioned, likes it, but she's not super into it. My other friends that I've sent K-pop videos to or K-pop stuff to, they're always like, oh yeah, it's okay, but they don't really like it in the same way that I do. They'll let me play it at parties, they'll, you know, kind of begrudgingly accept it. But this album represents the group of friends that I've been able to make who love K-pop just as much as I do. It's a group of people I get to talk to all the time. It's a group of people I get to experience through YouTube videos. And it's a group of people that's really, really special to me and really, really important to me. And I'm just happy to be a part of the community, and I'm just happy to have something to really represent that and talk about that here. So thank you to all of my wonderful friends in the K-pop community who have supported me and who keep me coming back for more. Honestly, I feel like I probably would have fallen out a little bit more of K-pop had it not been for all of you guys. And then the last thing to kind of round out my future, where I'm going, is talking a little bit about Bad Boy by Red Velvet, which I feel like isn't going to be in a lot of people's videos. Red Velvet is a group I have actually really liked since debut. They're now my second favorite girl group. As you guys know, I'm all SM trash, so it's probably not really that surprising. But I really liked the direction that the Perfect Red Velvet took, that Bad Boy took. I'm really excited to see what Red Velvet's going to do next. They're a group that keeps me excited about K-pop, and I just want it to keep going. I want to hear more of this sound. I want to hear more girls doing girl crush concepts or cutesy concepts, or because I'm really going to use this album, aside from representing like Red Velvet and their direction that they're kind of going in, which I love, also just represent girl groups. I love girl groups. I'm unashamedly a girl group stan. That's all I really care as much about. Like, boy groups have some cool stuff, I'm sure, but girl groups are always what capture me in K-pop. And I just want more girl groups to be successful. I just want more girl groups to reach the heights that people like Red Velvet have and FX and Girls' Generation, and I'm just looking forward to the future of that as well. Just, I'm always, as I said, you know me, I'm always about those new girl groups and who's going to be next and doing something. So yeah, so that's my K-pop about me tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, you should definitely do it if you haven't. I think it's a really interesting one to kind of ponder and think about. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!